Hello, welcome back to my channel. In this tutorial I'll be doing a shirt for a 5 years old girl. Okay, our shoulder is 10 inches, so I'm using this part as the center front. I don't want to fold the pattern paper. Okay, so I'll be drafting the back first before drafting the front. Okay, so just see that this part of the paper is the center back. Okay, that's center back. And then for the shoulder, I need a straight line here. Okay, I'm just trying to manage these pieces of paper. It's just a small pattern that I want to draw, so I don't want to waste my paper. Sorry about that. Okay, so for the shoulder, our shoulder is 10 inches. 10 divided by 5. 10 inches divided by 2 will give us 5. Okay, so I will be using 5 inches for our shoulder drop. I'm not adding any allowance to this pattern. When I get to the fabric, I'll be adding the allowances. Okay, so that's 5 inches. And then I'll come back and use the same 5 inches for the armhole depth. So I want to be sure I have 5 inches, and then I'll connect my line straight. Okay, I'll connect my line straight. Okay, after that I'll come down by 0.75 for my shoulder slope. You can do 0.5, but I'll be doing 0.75. Okay, so that's 0.75, and then I want to connect to 2 inches from the center back, 2 inches, and then like so. Okay, the next thing to be done is to be sure I still have 5 inches here, and then since I've removed some part of the line, so I'll have to extend my point. Okay, this is 5 inches, and then on that part I want to square a line. I won't mark it from here, I'll mark it from my armhole depth. Okay, and that is that. And then the next thing I want to do is to mark the length of our top. This is like a shirt for uniform, so the length of this top is 16 inches. Okay, so I have 16 inches from here to here. I have 16 inches, so that means I'm using the whole length of this paper like that. And then for our chest is 24 inches. 24 inches divided by 4 will give us 6 inches. Okay, so that 6 inches, I'm going to be adding 1 inch allowance for here, so that the shirt will be free on her. I don't want it to be fitted because it's uniform, and even if it's not uniform, shirt normally should be free. Okay, so this is 7 inches, and that is what I'm going to mark all through for this blouse. 7 inches all through for this blouse. Okay, that is, I'm using the chest measurement up to the down part. You can as well add like ½ inch for the hip allowance, but that's not need. She doesn't have, I know the person I'm sewing for, so she doesn't have a pronounced hip like that. Okay, so, or better still, use your own measurement. Measure the child you want to sew for and do that. Okay, so I want to get the midpoint of this line. This is 5 inches divided by 2. I have 2.5, and then I'll go in by ½ inch, and then I can connect my points first from the chest to the ½ inch, and then to this point like that. So you want to make sure you blend in your lines, and that is that for the back. So it's until I get to the fabric before I will add all the allowances. I already had one. I added 1 inch for ease and for the top to be free. Okay, so the back pattern is ready. Okay, so I'll be using this back to cut the front. I'll be using this, but before I do that, shirts must have button down. Shirt must have the allowance for the button and buttonhole. Okay, so for that I'll be adding 1.5 inches all through for the center front. 1.5 inches. Then I'll connect it straight down. Okay, so we have that, and the next thing I will do is to just place this on it. Once you get your back pattern, the front will not be a problem. So I'll place it. This is actually for a girl. If it's for a boy, this I don't cut it this way because I always want the back to come to the front a bit for boys. just like the way you're cutting for adults. Okay, so I'm done with this. I want to just place a weight on it for me to do every adjustment I want to do before cutting up. Okay, you know, this is this. So this is the center front now. This one that has a button and buttonhole allowances. Okay, so I'm trying to set it to make sure everything aligns. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is for the depth. I'm not touching this allowance. All your measurements still begins from this center back, that I want to use to cut. So from the center back here, I'm going to mark my neck depth, my neck width, sorry. So this is 2 inches, or you can do 2.5 inches, but it's better you just do 2 inches. By the time you are done joining the shoulder and you want to put your collar, you can cross check and be sure that what you have there will be enough for the neck of the person you are sewing for. Okay, so that's 2 inches for the back, 2 inches and 1 inch for the depth, and then for the front is 2 inches by 2 inches. That's what I want to use, or 2 inches by 2.5. So for now I'll just use 2.5 inches. Okay, so the first one is to connect the back, because I'll be using the back to cut out first before I will adjust and cut the front neckline. Okay, so we have that, and then I can cut now. You cut the same length, every other thing the same, is only at the center front that you have the allowance for button and buttonhole. I want it to align properly. Okay, so I'll cut the back neckline first, and then I'll mark that point. Okay, you see the marking, here's the marking, and then I'll measure my 2.5 inches for the front, and I have it here. And then I'll connect that. You can first of all make it a straight line and then do your connection, or just go in and connect it directly. Okay, I just want to be sure I have a perfect cuff there. So if you do it this way, you can even use your, so you can see the way I'm adjusting the cuff. You can use your free hand or use your cuff ruler. So I prefer the second one, that I do with my free hand, and then I want to cut out. Okay, so now I have the back and I have the front. This is for the back, and this is for the front. So the next thing is to just go and transfer it to the fabric. When you want to transfer to the fabric, you make sure all fabric are on fold. You want to cut to the back, you fold it into 2, place the center, the back pattern, place it this way on the center fold. You place it this way, and then you had all the necessary allowance: 1/2 inch for joining at the shoulder, 1/2 inch here, and your allowance for joining side seam, it can be 1 inch, it can be 1.5 inches, that's 1.5 inches, and then your folding allowance at the hem, like 1 inch, or even 1/2 inch is enough just to fold. And then just 1/2 inch here, 1 inch or 1.5 inches, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, and then for the front you do the same thing. Fold your fabric, make sure it's folded into 2, and then you place this, add your allowances, run whatever allowance you had as side seam for the back is the same allowance you will had as side seam for the front, and then whatever allowance you had at the hem is what you will had down. So that is that about the shirt for a baby girl. Thanks for watching. Like, share and subscribe.